Now, I'm just thinking, your agent calls you up and says, okay, I've got this movie, it's kind of Watership Down meets Triumph of the Will. You're going to play a troubled, fascist-leaning barn owl who joins up with the Darth Vader-esque metal beak and his pure ones to try and crush the cuddly legends of Gahul. Did you hang up, or did you...
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Was it a head record to sort of get your mind around, this idea of what this is such a kind of, I know it's very popular, but it's just a kind of a bizarre storyline to sort of come into as an actor, I'd say.
Bizarre is something that, when you say that word to me, that appeals to my sort of sensibilities. And it was interesting though, because I was originally supposed to go in and read for Soren, and it was the angst of Clud that I guess I also sort of carry around with me, because I'm also an older brother, so I very much feel his pain, and I see the method to his madness. So there was a definite connection there. And then, like you sort of obviously tapped on, is the different and many layers that this sort of has in it, which is not typical in your average animated family film.
And I'm wondering too, for an actor, Animal Logic, who are behind Happy Feet, these wonderful computer geeks, make a wonderful, wonderful world here, but there's always that danger, you kind of step into an Enya video and maybe you can't see the acting for the CGI. Just that notion of having to trust people, I guess, that whatever performance you give, when you record your voice, that the animation will kind of help that and sort of convey that. I don't know, I guess it is a trust thing really, ultimately, because you can't.
It's exactly what it is, because, and plus I'm playing an owl, it's not something that one sort of encounters in day-to-day life. So you are vulnerable even more so than one would be normally in sort of an acting situation, where at the very least I would have another actor to at least bounce off, or props, a set. Whereas this, it's just my voice and a sound booth. So you really have to suspend disbelief firstly, and then secondly, like you said, know that you're leaving yourself in very capable hands.
You come from Sydney, Australia, and of course, like any good young Australian actor, you did your time in Home and Away. I think it's the law. You have to do Neighbours or Home and Away before you're allowed to progress on to bigger things. But when you came to America, I don't know whether now, especially with True Blood, whether the experience has been all good, or whether it was a tough kind of climb at the beginning. When anybody arrives in America as an actor, it's always a kind of a struggle.
Yeah, I definitely had highs and definitely had lows, but I'm very much sort of a masochist at heart anyway, so, I kind of enjoyed those the down times just as much as I am sort of the more triumphant times. Yeah. And
playing Jason Stackhouse, I don't know if that's been I'm sure it's all generally a good experience, the idea that you actually have something that a lot of people know and love, and you have that sort of fan base. And I don't know if that's been treating you well. I don't know whether it's been, you've already had to deal with bizarre rumours on the internet, or kind of a sense of having your life slightly made public.
Oh, look, I'm a very sort of private person anyway, so in terms of my life becoming public, that doesn't really bother me. My private life is very non-controversial. I guess I try and leave all the drama in my life on screen, and so my life outside of that is very drama-free.
And the storyline with Jason, I don't know how, I mean, it's kind of, I'm sure it's great for an actor to go from ladies' man to, Were Panther Protector, all these sort of great sort of leaps of drama that you're dealing with, and all
to
that.
Faith Finder, yeah.
There you go, and passion, and I'm guessing it's a lot of fun to play, or I don't know, sometimes it's hard work.
It's both. It's incredibly rewarding and extremely liberating to play such a character, because I'm very much sort of more the introverted variety, whereas Jason is very gregarious, very out there, and it's such a release to kind of just fly by the seat of my pants and just see what spontaneity brings, as opposed to me being far too analytical about things.
And you kind of fell into the acting. I know you're major into sports when you're younger. You're the welter champion of the state, and I think it was your mom, who obviously doesn't love you that much, didn't bother picking you up when she dropped you and your brother off to an audition. Your brother was auditioning for a theatrical agent,
right? And
you were kind of waiting around. You were dragged in, and it all started from there. Did it take time for you to be convinced by this this sort of shift in careers? Because it doesn't sound like you chased it, it sort of found you.
No, very much so. That's an excellent question, an excellent perception too. Yeah, it took me a good 6 years, I would say, to really sort of find a passion, the passion that I have now, that's now sort of firmly cemented in the business. But it took me that sort of time to really realize that there is an art form to this, that I can say a line and not mean it, that there's subtext behind it, and there's a way to make it mine.
Rock and roll. Having given the friendly finger. Nice to talk
Oh.
to you, sir. Yeah. Cheers, man.
Thank you, buddy.